If you open up many modern gadgets today, you might be surprised by what's missing. Fewer hinges, fewer buttons, fewer mechanical switches, fewer components that physically move at all. This is not an accident or a cost-cutting shortcut. Across consumer electronics, more gadgets are being deliberately designed with fewer moving parts. And this shift reveals how priorities around reliability, longevity, and real-world use are changing. For decades, moving parts were a sign of sophistication. Mechanical buttons felt premium, hinges enabled flexibility, motors powered features that made devices feel advanced. Over time, however, manufacturers learned a hard lesson. Moving parts are often the first things to fail. Springs wear out, hinges loosen, buttons stop registering, motors degrade. As gadgets became central to daily life, failure became less acceptable. Reducing moving parts became a path to better reliability. One of the biggest reasons for this shift is durability. Gadgets today are used constantly. Phones are pulled from pockets dozens of times a day. Laptops are opened and closed repeatedly. Wearables are exposed to sweat, dust, and movement. Every moving component introduces friction, wear, and vulnerability. By eliminating those components, manufacturers dramatically reduce the number of failure points. A device with fewer moving parts simply has fewer ways to break. Water and dust resistance is another major driver. Sealing a device with moving parts is difficult. Gaps are necessary for movement, and gaps allow moisture and debris inside. As consumers expect gadgets to survive rain, spills, and daily abuse, manufacturers have redesigned products to minimize openings and mechanical motion. Solid-state designs make it easier to create tightly sealed enclosures that protect internal components. Battery longevity also benefits from fewer moving parts. Mechanical components often require additional power to operate. Motors, haptic systems, and physical actuation mechanisms consume energy. By replacing them with solid-state alternatives, manufacturers can reduce power draw and extend battery life. In a market where battery endurance matters more than ever, eliminating unnecessary motion supports longer usage between charges. Manufacturing efficiency plays a role as well. Moving parts add complexity to production. They require precise tolerances, additional testing, and more assembly steps. Fewer moving components simplify manufacturing, reduce defects, and improve consistency across units. This leads to higher yields and more predictable quality, which matters when devices are produced at massive scale. The shift toward fewer moving parts is also tied to longevity expectations. Consumers are keeping gadgets longer than they used to. Devices are no longer replaced every year by default. When a product is expected to last several years, mechanical wear becomes a serious concern. Solid-state designs age more gracefully. They may lose performance over time, but they are less likely to fail suddenly due to mechanical breakdown. Noise reduction is another subtle benefit. Moving parts create sound. Fans spin, motors vibrate, buttons click. In quiet environments, these noises become noticeable and sometimes annoying. By designing gadgets with fewer moving parts, manufacturers create quieter, more seamless user experiences. This is especially important in personal devices that are used in close proximity to the body. The rise of solid-state alternatives has made this transition possible. Touch surfaces replace physical buttons. Solid-state storage replaces spinning disks. Passive cooling replaces active fans in many devices. These changes are not about removing functionality. They are about delivering the same or better experience with fewer mechanical dependencies. Reliability under varied conditions is another factor. Gadgets are used in hot cars, cold rooms, humid environments, and dusty spaces. Moving parts behave differently under temperature extremes. Materials expand and contract. Lubricants degrade. Solid-state components are more predictable across conditions. Designing with fewer moving parts helps ensure consistent performance regardless of environment. Cost stability also matters. While moving parts are not always expensive individually, they add long-term costs through returns, repairs, and warranty claims. Devices with fewer mechanical failures reduce after-sales expenses. From a business standpoint, designing out moving parts lowers lifetime support costs and improves brand reputation. Repairability intersects with this trend in complex ways. On one hand, Fewer moving parts mean fewer components that need replacement. On the other hand, solid-state designs often integrate components more tightly. Manufacturers prioritize reducing failure rates rather than enabling frequent repairs. The logic is that if fewer things break, fewer repairs are needed in the first place. Another reason for this design shift is consistency of user experience. Mechanical components can feel different over time. Buttons lose their click, hinges loosen, fans grow louder. Solid-state interactions feel the same on day 1 and day 1000. This consistency matters in products where familiarity and trust are important. Thermal management has also influenced this trend. Active cooling systems rely on fans, which are moving parts prone to failure and noise. Advances in efficient chips and passive cooling allow many gadgets to operate without fans at all. Removing fans reduces thickness, noise, and mechanical risk while improving reliability. The push toward fewer moving parts also aligns with modern design aesthetics. Clean lines, sealed surfaces, and minimalist forms are easier to achieve without mechanical components.